I tried some Atletico Madrid VIP tickets at the Metropolitano Stadium, and here's how I got on. Flying into Madrid airport, there was this amazing view of the stadium. Then, with a few hours to go until the match versus Girona, I grabbed a cab to the stadium, and there were quite a few things planned today, including some pre- and post-match activities. At just before 12 p.m, it was into Territorio Atleti, which is the club's museum. So I made my way through the turnstiles and had a look around. Some beautiful home shirts on display, including one from a Champions League final, and some that were quite a bit older than that. Then onto the very impressive trophy cabinet with a few European cups, and I did spot the original Atleti crest. Then something a bit different, there were a few phones loaded with Atleti players and legends. I decided to hear from Diego Simeone, so typed in his code, then heard a pre-recorded message from the man himself. As the Metropolitano Stadium hasn't always been Atleti's home, it was cool to see some seats from the former stadium, the Vicente Calderon, inside the museum. So I decided to sit in one and watch some Atleti women's highlights on the big screen. Definitely worth checking out the Atleti store before the match, but a heads up, it does get very busy, so give yourself enough time to have a look around and let us know your thoughts on this year's home kit. Just enough time to take in some of the pre-match atmosphere outside in the glorious sunshine. Then just after 12 p.m, it was time for some hospitality, and with no queues at the turnstiles, I made my way through with tickets checked on entry, and I did receive a hospitality wristband. Loads more player memorabilia on display as I had a look around the first two relaxed lounges. One of the key features was the unlimited food, and that included burgers all the way through to a mixture of Spanish cuisine and vegan food. However, I decided to hold out for a different selection of food which comes a bit later on. There was live music at half-time, otherwise it was to a third VIP area, and this one was special. The Superpalco is a super box which is located on the halfway line, with a bar and terrace and probably the best view in the stadium. The bar itself is fully inclusive, so I grabbed a drink and helped myself to a few different food options. Enjoyed everything, but the sushi was excellent, and the backdrop from the terrace area was pretty spectacular. A bit later, I tried out some cakes and fruits, and a tip, make your way back into the first lounge because there is an ice cream station, and if you fancy it, there is some popcorn and sweets as well. Back to before the match, and I found my padded seat, and you know you're a VIP when you've got one of these. And gotta say, big fan of Atleti's second kit, as well as Indy's enthusiasm. Then it was time for the match inside one of the most beautiful stadiums we've ever visited. And despite going 1-0 down, it did end in a 3-1 win for Atletico Madrid. And the match day experience didn't end there, because after the match there was something special planned. I was escorted alongside other guests onto the side of the pitch, which did include a quick walk down the tunnel. I then replicated the walk that the players do pre-match, and I think I'll have to go back and change my earlier opinion. This is definitely the most spectacular view inside the stadium. And I decided to embrace my inner Diego Simeone and try out a padded seat in the dugout. Tickets are from €425 depending on the fixture, and post-match pitch access is from €50 per person. And finally, one for you guys. Where should we go for the next padded seat?